you for, your skill set stuff, but you've always been a good athlete. Like you've always been
Yeah.
strong. You know what I'm saying? You've always had a tenacious mindset. Like when you were at Edgewater and you were like come up to the plate, like I don't think there was anybody on that team that I was nervous about, but you know, big old because you were a lefty, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you roll up to the plate, and I knew you from since middle school, and like I ain't letting this dude get nothing on me. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I was like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
try really hard right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a little bit harder every pitch. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
uh, and I think the ball you just yoked one on me was a changeup, which that was not my best pitch, and I was always mad at my friend Bobby for calling that. 'Cause if I'm only throwing Bryan fastballs and curveballs, I'm not throwing him. But he called a changeup, and I'm like, whatever, man. And then you just yoke that thing, and I didn't even look at you. I didn't even look at you. I was like, I know that. There's some times when you're a pitcher where the dude just hits it and you don't even look. You know it's gone. And it was one of those things where like the whole stands are like just like scratching their head like that
Yeah.
thing just went far.
Yeah.
And then my dad, I get home, he was like, he's like, don't take this the wrong way, son, but I think that's the farthest ball anybody's ever hit on you. And I'm like, I know, I know. It's just funny, bro. It was funny. I
Yeah.
mean, even like
My
Rashid and all
dad.
those guys were like, that's Brian. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. My dad. That's one of two home runs, which actually means a lot to me. My dad actually didn't. My biological father didn't come to a lot of my games until I was 12, 13 years old. But I don't. There's not many games he missed through high school and college, thankfully. And but that is one of three home runs he still talks about to this day. If he's telling the story to somebody, is that home run off that kid from because you were at Ocoee, right?
yeah,
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 he's
yeah,
like
yeah,
that home run that
yeah,
Brian hit off that kid from McCoy over the Science Building. He was like
yeah, dude. I think you
that's,
hit it
that's
over the
one of
building. Yeah, it was
yeah,
crazy, dude. It was, and I think the actual score was like 3-2, so it wasn't even a high scoring game. I was doing a good job, like
yeah,
I
yeah,
was shutting you guys
yeah,
down, but we didn't score, and I was so mad. I'm like, they would go three up, three down. I just got done pitching like 65 pitches. I gotta go back out right. Like do get a
yeah.
walk or something. Like walk or like take some pitches, make this guy work. But I don't know. It's funny.
And I think what because I'm again like I was so competitive back then, and it's like it's honestly it's hard for me to be as I've gotten older. I think I've gotten a lot softer, and I think it's done more detriment than anything because it's like man like having that like I would be so competitive like when I wouldn't care if we I wouldn't care if we lost and I had a good game. I wasn't one of those athletes. I cared just a loss was a loss for me, whether I had a good game or not. My individual
Yeah.
performance didn't matter. And so I remember games all the way through high school where I was so mad. We'd play a tournament in Miami and lose in the semifinals, and I wouldn't talk to my parents for the whole trip home. I wouldn't eat. I wouldn't talk to them. Yeah, I would just sit in the back seat and sulk the whole time because I was just so mad that we lost. And as I've gotten older, in my late 20s and 30s, I think I've lost a lot of that tenacity, and I think it's been to my detriment because like having that level of passion and tenacity is how we're wired, especially it's how
Yeah.
I'm wired in like I think I'm meant to be. And I think me trying to like be softer, especially around people and be less of myself has kind of hurt me, in the long run. And that's something I'm trying to work back to like trying to find a healthy level of aggressiveness for life in general.
Yeah.
But you said something, and I was actually meaning to respond to that before I got in a rant. What was it?
No, you're good.
Can't even remember now.
Well,
Anywho,
I'll say this about Rashid, right? And Rashad. The next Monday, we're like in that like in the center field stretching, before like Monday practice, whatever you call it. And Rashid came up to me and he's like, "Hey, Ralph," he's like, "I think that ball's still flying that Brian hit off you," and I'm
yeah,
like, "It's too soon, bro. Get out." I don't know. It was just funny because they knew you, and
yeah,
I didn't. Obviously, I knew you from school, so like they thought it was surprising that I knew you, and I'm like, "Yeah, I know Brian," and and so they would rub it in a little bit. It was just funny, and I'm like,
No, so
like
I remember what it is now. I think it was I was so competitive, but I kind of had like a little bit of like that Jordan in me is like I'm always competitive and I'm always on. But if you upset me even more than I already am, is like I amp it up. And I don't know if you remember
yeah,
this, but I don't remember if it was that at bat. I think it might have been at bat before. But you tried to quick pitch me where you were in stretch, and instead of coming set, you just like went straight from the first position and tried to pitch, and the umpire called like a no pitch, and I was like, what is this dude trying to do? Like, and even though I got the ball call, I was
yeah,
like, he's trying to get one over on me, and I think that like woke up the bear even more to whenever
yeah,
you did
dude.
throw the next.
Well, what was I was so annoyed with you about was that you would crowd the plate.
Yeah,
And I too was very competitive. And so I'm the guy that's like, if you're going to crowd the plate, I'm going to bust you inside all day. I'm going to throw my hardest fastball. And I know my corners. I know, I don't care if you're like an inch off the plate. Like I'll hit my friend Bobby's, my catcher. I'll hit his glove. Like I don't care.
yeah,
And you would crowd the plate, dude. And I don't know, man. It was just like, you were just like, you were about it. You know what I'm saying? And I was
yeah.
just like, I don't know. We were definitely like, you know, uh, like I don't know, man. My dad has some photos of me like pitching in his house, and like the look on my face of how serious I was. I'm like, I don't even know who that
Yeah,
guy is. Like,
yeah,
I don't know who
yeah,
that serious 18-year-old or 17-year-old kid is. Like, that guy is like
yeah,
another lifetime ago. Because I was
yeah.
so. Like, I mean, there's a picture of me like throwing, and I'm like, I have like this like angry but like focused look, and I'm just, I don't have that.